Next topic, guys, that could be very damaging for a lot of Muslims. I will now basically, guys, with the next topic, I will shake the very foundations of Islam. One of the brothers, I sent him some information and he never heard this before, so I hope he will use it. He will use my material on TikTok as well. Because many people don't realize that the early Muslims, guys, pay attention, the early Muslims, did you know that the early Muslims believed that the sacrificed son was Isaac and not Ishmael? What happened is people like Ibn Taymiyyah, and people like Ibn Kathir, his student, they corrupted the original story from Isaac to Ishmael. Did you know that? No way. Yes! People are saying, wow. Of course. Muslims, guys, much later Muslims will always corrupt to make the Islamic narrative fit. Because imagine if the the sacrificed son would be Isaac, like the Bible. Of course, Andrew Martin. But they corrupted it in the tafsir. They corrupted it in the ta'wil. So when the Quran says, they corrupted in chapter 3, ayah 79 with their tongues, chapter 3, ayah 79, let me go there. You'll see who this is about people like Ibn Taymiyyah, guys. I'm not kidding. All of these ayahs, look, 378, look. And indeed, there is among them a party who altered the scripture, how? With their tongues. Do you see it? The corruption by the tongues. Who are those people? People like Ibn Taymiyyah. People like Ibn Kathir. So the Quran is talking not about the Jews and the Christians, but actually about the Muslims in this case. Did you catch it? Look, guys. Now let me prove that the original story of the early Muslims, who they believed, was about Isaac and specifically not Ishmael. I will play a small video clip of a video that I did, and then we will move from there, just to change the style of the live show a little bit, because, to not always make things too boring for everyone. So here is my video clip, which I did, guys. Enjoy the video clip. Enjoy the video clip here. All right, let me put up the sound. This is the video that I did, a short video clip, guys, that I did about this very topic. Listen carefully. Did you know that early Muslims like Ibn Abbas, Umar, Ibn Mas'ud, and many other companions, including the Prophet of Islam himself, believed that the sacrificed son of Abraham was Isaac and not Ishmael, as the Muslims of today believe? But the fact is, much later Muslims like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Kathir, who came 7 centuries after the companions, corrupted the early standard narrative and believe from Isaac to Ishmael being the son to be sacrificed. How is that not bid'ah and kufr, disbelief? How can much later Muslims corrupt what the early companions believed? Wow! How could they corrupt the early understanding and view of the Sahaba and still claim to be Muslims? Did much later Muslims like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Kathir receive new and improved divine revelation from Allah? Are they now the new prophets of Islam? And a very important question must be raised. Why, oh why, did they corrupt the standard view of the companions? Interesting. Now let me show you the proof that the main companions, including Muhammad himself, believed that the sacrificed son was Isaac and not Ishmael. I will include the references in the description box. If we go to the tafsir of al-Qurtubi for chapter 37 verse 102 of the Quran, in volume 18 on page 61 we can read, most of them said the sacrificed son is Ishaq, i.e. Isaac. This is according to the uncle of Muhammad, al-Abbas, and his son, the Abdullah bin al-Abbas, the translator of the Quran himself and scholar of the Ummah. Ask any Sunni Muslim and he will admit that Ibn Abbas is the authority in explaining the Quran. And in the same tafsir of al-Qurtubi on page 62, we can read that Ibn Jurayj attributed this view to Ibn Abbas, and that Ibn Abbas said, the sacrificed son of Abraham is Isaac. And this is also the sahih or authentic explanation by another famous companion, namely Abdullah bin Mas'ud. And Hamad bin Ziyad reports from the Messenger of Allah himself that it's Isaac, Ishaq, and the father of Az-Zubayr from Jabir, he said, the sacrificed son is Isaac. And this is also narrated from Ali bin Abi Talib, the cousin of Muhammad and the son of Umar, Abdullah bin Umar, that the sacrifice is Isaac. And this is also the saying of the famous companion Caliph Umar as well. So the conclusion is, much later Muslims and Muslims of today changed the belief of the early Muslims and the Prophet of Islam. Isn't that corruption of Islam itself? Clearly, the much later Muslims had to corrupt the earlier view from Isaac being the sacrificed son to Ishmael when they found out it would become a major dilemma for the nation, proving Muhammad to be a false prophet and certainly not from the line of Isaac, the promised son, where from his lineage the true prophets would arise from. This is a burial. Please share this video on social media. Did you catch it?
Yes, this is one of the important topics. No?
Yeah, very important.
I remember, brother, an Egyptian Muslim came to CP and want to debate about it. He left Islam at least at the end of the debate.
Like brother Amir, do you know what is going on? Brother, the original story, the original narrative was that Isaac in Islam, like the Bible, Isaac was the son to be sacrificed by Abraham, you know? But much later Muslims like Ibn Taymiyyah, because they had to change it. I mean, else it's going to agree with the Quran, with the Bible, and then you have a bigger problem and another bigger problem, right? So they changed it. But the early Muslims, and we use Tafsir al-Qurtubi, brother.
Tafsir al-Qurtubi, yes. It's al-Qurtubi said it too.
Yeah, Tafsir al-Qurtubi, volume 18, we showed you literally in the video.
So important, this topic is so important that they know that their prophet is a false prophet.
Yep. See, it literally says that the scholars, they disagreed with one another, and some of them said that the sacrifice is Ishaq. Let me give you immediately the translation, guys. The scholars disagreed. Most of them said the sacrifice, if you want to take a screenshot.
Yes, the most of them. Yeah. The most of them is good.
Yeah. Most of them, sorry, not some of them, most of them said, most of the scholars said, the sacrifice is Isaac. Imagine, guys, all the early scholars said, most of them said that the sacrifice is Isaac. And the ones who said that were al-Abbas and his son Ibn Abbas. Do you see it, Ibn Abbas?
Yes, let me translate it for the German audience, because it is so important. Ihr Lieben, ihr wisst ja, dass die Prophetenlinie nach unserer Bibel durch Isaac geht. Daraus ist die ganze Prophetenlinie entstanden. Aber die Muslime sagen, nein, die Verheißung sollte durch Ismael gehen. Und dann siehst du auf einmal, dass die islamischen Großgelehrten sagen, nein, es ist wirklich Isaac, und haben den Islam quasi zerstört und Mohammed als falschen Propheten entlarvt.
Stimmt.
Yeah. It is so damaging. The biggest scholars of Islam destroyed Islam.
Bro. Ibn Taymiyyah and people like Ibn Taymiyyah corrupted the Quran and Islam in its entirety, because the belief of Ibn Abbas and his father, so we're talking about the uncle of Muhammad, al-Abbas, for the people who do not know. Al-Abbas is the uncle of Muhammad, of the Prophet of Islam, and his son, Habrul Ummah, the scholar of the Ummah himself, Ibn Abbas. So they believed that the Sahih authentic story is that Isaac is the sacrificed son, not Ishmael. So Ishmael has nothing to do. Ishmael is not important. But much later, Muslims changed the whole narrative.
Yes. I remember this poor Egyptian Muslim who talked to CP.
Yeah.
He said, okay. And then he said, shit. Shit. He was shocked. He was shocked because the scholars lied to him. He said, they told him the sacrifice is to Ishmael.
Yep.
And now al-Qurtubi said, the most of the scholars said, no, it's Isaac. Look at this lie.
Look, and even on the next page, page 62, brother, look, it says that Ibn Abbas said the sacrifice is Isaac, Ishaq in Arabic.
Yes.
وهو الصحيح عن عبد الله بن
I love
مسعود.
this sound.
So guys, صحيح. So Ibn Abbas, Amir, listen to this. We have Ibn Abbas and Ibn Mas'ud believed that the sacrifice is Isaac, not Ishmael.
Brother, who is Ibn Kasir? Muhammad Hijab is more higher than Ibn Kasir. And Mimi Hijab. And what is the name of the other guy?
Ali Dawa.
Ali Mimi Dawa and Gigi Bawa. These are the most trusted ones.
This is
Allah praise
embarrassing,
for the
man.
Prophet, not to the Prophet.
I think, Amir, people are not realizing we need to get this through to everyone who's listening. Guys, do you have any idea what we just did?
Here.
We just destroyed the very foundation, the very standard narrative of modern day Muslims that the sacrifice is Isaac and not Ishmael. So what happened is the much later Muslims corrupted it. They corrupted the story.
Yes. Ja, ihr Lieben, ne, da seht ihr mal, ne, dass die Muslime selbst überhaupt gar keine Ahnung haben, was ihre eigenen Großgelehrten über das Thema der Verheißung sagen. Nämlich Al-Qurtubi, Ibn Kathir und sowas bringen eine Aussage, dass die meisten Gelehrten, das heißt die damit einverstanden sind, die Großgelehrten, die Mehrheit bilden und sagen, dass die Verheißung durch den Isaac geht und nicht durch Ismael. Wahnsinn, ne? Damit ist der Islam zerstört worden.
Yeah. So again, this is the tafsir, guys. The tafsir for chapter 37. Let me jump the links. The tafsir of al-Qurtubi for chapter 37, ayah 102. Chapter 37, ayah 102. Okay? Chapter 37, ayah 102. I just dropped the link for the website of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and also literally the physical book that you see on the screen. Right? Tafsir al-Qurtubi, volume 18. So we dropped the web-based version and the physical book in volume 18, pages what? Pages 61
yes.
and 62. Pages 61 and 62. That's where the hidden gems are stored, guys.
Yes. He was so shocked, brother. He was so shocked, this Egyptian Muslim.
Yeah, I understand.
Wow.
I understand. This is a disaster for our Muslim friends.
Yes, it's a disaster, yes.
Now, next topic, Amir, look at this one.
Okay.
This is probably new stuff. I think this is new because I've never mentioned the following hadith before. Quarter of the Quran lost. Quarter of the Quran lost. I'm not kidding, guys. Quarter of the Quran lost. Pay attention. So you see, as you notice, guys, I like to put illustrations for the people to make it more clear for you. So, quarter of the Quran is lost. Who is saying this? Early Muslims. Look, in the following book called Al-Mustadrak ala al-Sahihain. Al-Mustadrak ala al-Sahihain. Let me drop the link in the chat again. Let me drop the link. Quarter of the Quran lost. And this is new stuff. Every time we drop new stuff for everyone. Here is the website, the physical book that you see on the screen. And I will also drop the Islam website that mentions the same book. Right? Web version and physical book. People who know me, I love to use the physical books because Muslims cannot say, Rob, you're using a website. You know, everybody can create websites.
Rob, you're a liar, Rob.
You're a liar, Rob.
You're a liar.
No, Habibi, no. I just dropped the links.
Everything is lie.
Everything is a lie. we are dropping the links in the chat.
You saw them from the books. Yeah. Look at this, guys.
Everything is in the chat. You can fact check us and you can go download the books for free and you can fact check us. So, Al-Mustadrak ala Sahihain, volume 4 by Al-Hakim al-Naysaburi. Okay, volume 4. Page 244. Look what it says. Zayd ibn Thabit. Amir, who is Zayd ibn Thabit?
Zayd ibn Thabit is a companion of the Prophet, Zayd ibn Thabit.
And he is the writer of the Quran of Uthman, right?
Yes, he's one of the writers of the Quran from Uthman. Yes.
Actually, he's the writer of the Quran of Uthman.
He's the writer of the, yes.
Yep.
He had a very, very dispute with Ibn Masud.
Yep, that's Zayd ibn Thabit. And on top of that, brother, he is also the one who was translating other books for Muhammad, because Zayd ibn Thabit, in another hadith, he learned Hebrew and Aramaic because Muhammad was always receiving books. That same Zayd ibn Thabit, a very key figure in Islam. Okay.
Yes.
On page 244, and the reference is in the bottom, as you see. When Salim, the freed slave of Abu Hudayfa, was unalived, when he was unalived in the battle, they said that a quarter of the Quran was what? Lost!
The quarter of the Quran was lost.
Emotional damage.
Why you always lying?
So what do you mean preservation? What do you mean preservation, Amir? What do Muslims mean when they say the Quran is preserved? This is new.
Brother, in Germany, we have some munafiqeen kafirs who make some live streams and they say, oh, the Quran is preserved point by point, this by this and that by that. It's the same Quran from the past that we have in today. And what the bunch of liars.
Bro, the hadith is da'if, right? They always say the hadith. No, the hadith is sahih. They say sahih.
Sahih.
They say it's sahih in the green. Sahih ala shart al-shaykhain. Do you know what that means, brother?
Letter, dot for dot.
Yeah. Brother Amir, do you know what it means when they say, when the scholars, when they grade, like, what does it mean when it says Sahih ala shart al-shaykhain? Do you have any idea what that means?
Zayd bin Thabit said, when Salim, the freed slave of Abu Hudayfa, was killed, they said that a quarter of the Quran was lost.
Yeah. And do you understand what Sahih ala shart al-shaykhain means? In the green?
What did you say, brother?
Do you understand what it means when we say Sahih ala shart al-shaykhain?
No, it's a special form of Sahih.
Yeah, it's a very special form of Sahih because it's Sahih as any Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari. That's what it means. Wow. Shaykhain. The two sheikhs, Bukhari and Muslim together. So it's very, very authentic.
Wow. It's like Sahih Marfu, huh?
Marfu', yes, Marfu'. Of course.
Yes, Sahih Marfu'.
Yes. Very, very authentic. Like any Bukhari or any Sahih Muslim. That's what it means. Sahih ala shart al-shaykhain. Shaykh number 1, Imam Bukhari, and Shaykh number 2, Imam Muslim. In their collection.
Rob, isn't this crazy that the most scholars in Islam are not Muslims? They are not Muslims who know better the religion than the Muslim by themselves.
Yep.
It is so crazy that you know more than Muslim themselves.
Brother, it's embarrassing that a kafir like me or you is teaching them their own religion.
You're filthy kafir. You know more about my religion. I have to chop off your head.